Mount Elementary, and this is my 5th year there. I've been an administrator for 13 years and been an educator for 29. And so, what led me into leadership is uh, the principal that I was a teacher at. She saw the leader in me and very supportive. She recommended me to a grant that was available at the time, and it was only a certain amount of teachers that were that could take the leadership courses under this grant. So she recommended me, and I'm very thankful that she saw that in me when at the time I was new to teaching, and so she certainly paved the path for me. And since then, it's been something that I find I'm very passionate about, and certainly enjoy doing.
Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing, Ms. De La Garza. We're gonna go ahead and begin with our present. Well, the observation for today is, I know you have already received the paperwork before as far as like what are your duties and responsibilities as my mentor, but as part of the practicum is for me to go ahead and have this observation recorded where I'm explaining it to you in detail. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so I could go ahead and begin with, I'm going to share the agenda really quick. I'm not too sure if you could go ahead and see it from there.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead. Of course, we already did the introductions, and then we do have the program go. So we're going to go ahead and go into the PowerPoint. So I'm hoping that this is easier to transition from one page to the other.
Okay.
There you go. Can you see it's a blue background?
Right now, what I can see is your agenda.
Okay, so I need to go ahead and stop sharing. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I don't know. Share screen. Okay, there you go. Can you see it now? Okay, so this is, of course, a PowerPoint provided by the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley from the organization and school leadership, the department for the principal practicum. So this is just, like I said, an initial campus for the mentor training for you and myself. I'm going to switch through the slides. If you can't see them, you let me know, because can you see where it says purpose?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so the purpose of the campus mentor training is for me to have a field supervisor, and that field supervisor, of course, is Dr. Juan Garcia. Sorry, I went back. And this is the purpose of this is for us to have the mentor training, and this is observation number 1, which is planning the session with mentor-led practicum student. And it's going to be a little bit repetitive, but we'll get to it. Okay, so again, we already did the welcome and the introduction. We established the purpose, which is the mentor training. We're going to go over some TEA compliance requirements for principal. Well, we're going to go over the mentor role and responsibilities. Again, the field supervisor and intern responsibilities. Like I mentioned, my field supervisor is Dr. Juan Garcia. He is always available just in case you have any questions between my roles and your roles, or anything that you might have questions over. He's also someone that you could contact, and I'll be gladly to provide you with his information. We're going to go over the practicum requirements, expectations, and different forms that had to be signed prior to this meeting, and then one that's going to have to be signed after this meeting. But I'll go ahead and email it to you, and then you could return it back to me how you done before, just scan it and send it to me. This observation is being videotaped, and it's for the purpose of planning the activities. And then, of course, we will go ahead and finish our meeting. We're going to go ahead and begin with the principal practicum goals. My goal is to complete principal practicum course with following the expectations of TEA and their requirements. I'm hoping to pass the Principal Texas exam prior to the practicum course. And just to let you know, my 268 exam is scheduled for October 22nd. So right now I've been finding myself very busy because I've been, trying to go over the manual and doing all of my teacher responsibilities, and also, of course, my student responsibilities with UTRGV. But I feel confident about the upcoming test. I just need to, this is, the long stretch, like how they say. So I've been trying to, study as much as I can and retain the most information that I can to make sure that I pass that test. And then after that 268, then I will start planning for the PASO, because now they added a different part to the certification, to the principal certification, which is called PASO, which is where we do like a field like a field observation, not observation, but like a research, I guess, where we find the problem on the campus and we try to write up and do recommendations of how to fix it. And then at the end, we are able to bring all that data together and then submit it to TEA to see if we were able to, I guess, identify the problem correctly and all that stuff. Part of my goals, of course, is to have the 160 hours log of core leadership activities. I've been working on my log since last February, when you first signed the mentor that you accepted to be my mentor. So slowly, any PLC meetings that I have been attending, or any DOPAC, anything that I have done, leadership, when I participated with interviews, I've been logging them all down. And of course, I'll be sharing that with you so you could, look over it and exactly what I've been doing. And of course, everything that I do with the school, with the UTRGV that could count as hours, I also been counting them. Successful completion of 3 videotape observations for a total of 135 minutes. And today is the first one for 45 minutes. And then I would still have to do 2 more, and we'll go more into it right now. We have to have effective communication, coaching, and student mentoring. That one, I feel that we have effective communication between me and you. I know that we're always communicating either by email, you're always available if I go and visit you at the campus, or a message. So communication between the both of us, I feel very confident that's been established, and we don't have no problem with that. And you do always try to give me your best advice when it comes to mentoring me or coaching and, steering me in the right direction. So TEA requirements: observation for a practicum and an educator preparation program must provide a minimum of 3 observations during the term of the practicum. 3, for candidates seeking professional certification as a superintendent, principal, or school counselor, school librarian, or an educational diagnostician, each educator preparation program shall provide a practicum as defined in 228 of this title for a minimum of 160 hours. Like I said, that's the goal right now, 160 hours. But with COVID-19, we don't know if the hours are going to get reduced or not. So I will go ahead and keep you updated on that if anything changes. But for now, the goal is 160 hours before December. Like I said, I have quite a few hours accumulated already since February, so I've been working at it.
The ones from January carry over to this semester?
Yes, because I started the first part of the practicum in January, right? But you didn't sign the paperwork till about February, because by the time I received it, and then so technically my hours don't start counting till after you had signed that first. So I have some that I have accumulated, but of course not the 160. So I'm still working on them. Let me go. Again, TEA requirements: 3 videotape observations and agendas. Like the agenda that I showed you right now, the 3 observations for a minimum of a total of 135 minutes, 160 hours of field activities, coaching, communication and mentoring, course requirements, and TEA forms. Those are things that you have already signed before. Practicum participants and roles. My field supervisor, which is Dr. Garcia, will go ahead and observe, and this recording will be turned into him, and of course he's going to go ahead and evaluate it. He'll go ahead and give me some coaching or anything that I might need. You're the campus mentor. guide me, support, and dialogue, and mentor me in anything questions that I may have. And of course, my role is to complete my observations, my logs, and of course, make sure that I do everything that my classes are requiring of me. Mentor selection, identify an experienced role model who will guide the practicum student's professional development through coaching, mentoring. Such mentor will assist student in improving and providing leadership opportunities for growth. Also, mentor will assist intern in improving skills and be better prepared for the role of a campus leader. So this one is an important slide. I had a choice, like, of course, to choose who will be my mentor, and I chose you to be my mentor because I feel like you're a strong leader. You have a lot of good qualities to offer the campus and your staff. So I feel like if there was somebody that I wanted to learn from, it would be from you, because you do follow protocol. You do know your stuff. You do things for a reason. And I wanted to, I want to be like that. I want to make sure that every decision that I make is a decision that I could go ahead and back up with data, with paperwork, and that is one of the reasons why, I offered, I made sure that I reached out to you and asked you if you could go ahead and be my mentor. So I was glad, of course, that you accepted to be my mentor, not only once, but twice. So that was, that's the reason why for the mentor selection. The role of a mentor, this is, of course, your role, provide on-the-job development through mentoring, create a linkage between theory and practice, involve student in school improvement projects, provide quality leadership opportunities for growth, mentoring and log hours, support student for successful observations, and assure student end of course assessment. The benefits of the mentor, this is some benefits for you. Reflection on own skills and practices, have an additional glossy administrator teacher to support campus improvement, recognition as a successful administrator, collaboration and assistance on campus improvement project and strategies. And like I said, I feel that you are a very successful administrator, at least in my eyes. You've turned BG Guzman around, so I feel confident that I have a lot of things to learn from you.
We'll work together.
Yes. The mentor role and responsibilities is to assist with planning and scheduling activities, be available for meetings, discussions, clarifications, questions, and problem solvings with intern. Like I said, you're always available, and you always reach out to me, even if it's at a later time. So I feel in that way we are good. 50 to 20 minutes debriefing sessions daily or weekly, reflecting with the intern on the days of activities. And you do, like this last time that we were working on the master schedule, you did go back and you told me, I guess that those are some of the roles that as a principal, we are expected to know how to do. So I was glad that you gave me the opportunity to work on that, because it was a lot of work, but I feel like, okay, now I know what it takes to do that master schedule. We are to share past experiences and expertise related to the roles and responsibilities of the principal leader, model effective practices, procedures, strategies, and provide constructive feedback to the intern, offer opportunities for intern to attend principal meetings and staff development related to leadership skills, allow the intern to be meaningfully involved and contribute to chosen aspects of the school and supervise that involvement, campus committees, CIP projects, and etc. Allow the intern to be meaningfully involved in and attribute to aspects of the campus and supervise that involvement. TEA requirements and field supervisor roles, manage all online classes, explain courses expectations within 2 weeks, collect all requirement forms, provide mentor training, conduct observation number 1 by end of week 2. Mr. Garcia did give us a little bit of leeway because of COVID-19, and he understood that some of these projects had to be a little bit delayed. So there's going to be a little bit of changes, I guess, on the dates. schedule and complete 3 observations for a minimum total of 135 minutes for all students, log development process, guide, collect, analyze, and provide feedback, grade all logs, communicate and coach students, assure mentor assessments of students is completed, monitor student program and provide coaching, complete all TEA requirement forms, and guide students to meet all certification requirements. So this is all the roles for Mr. Garcia, and he's really good. He's been really good at making sure that he stays on top of what we're supposed to be doing. Practicum student responsibilities: attend to all online classes. Just to let you know, my classes are every Wednesday from 6 o'clock all the way to like 8:30 sometimes. Complete all TA forms and class assignments, completion of the 160 log hours of field activities, completion of 3 videotape observations for a minimum of 135 minutes, develop observation agendas, engage in 3 videotape observations, pre-conference and post-conference processes. So after this video, I would have to go ahead and complete, of course, the post-conference. But I'll go ahead and I complete that and I submit that. Hold needed conferences with mentor on the student assessment instrument and process. Communicate and engage in coaching schedules with mentor and university supervisor. Plan, organize, and complete all course expectations and clarification process. Okay, so this one is the one. Okay, so right here, it shows 160 hours of leadership activities required, categories, and examples. And of course, these are some examples, but they're not limited to this. Like I said, with COVID-19, we've been having a lot more, we've been trying to figure out other ways to go ahead and accumulate 160 hours because, you know, it's a lot. And one of the things that they pointed out is that we could go ahead and do interviews with either the assistant principal, you know, or other department heads. However, our campus is a little bit small. So this is where I wanted to ask you, well, who do you recommend that I could go ahead and interview? And it could be anybody, you know, though, that anybody that as a principal you have to, you know, deal with, and maybe not on a daily basis, but to make certain decisions or anything that you, any person that you might think would be a good idea to interview.
So looking at that category, assistant principal, and then underneath it is discipline. First that comes to mind is Mr. Mendoza, who is the principal to the DAP campus, which is right next door. He is also part of the district level discipline committee. And so he has a lot of insight as to our local policies when it comes to discipline. So his name is Mr. John Mendoza.
Okay, yes, I think I know who he is, Mr. John Mendoza.
He is one, and you let me know if you would like for me to contact him, and or you can go over and visit with him or do a Zoom with him.
Yes, I could definitely, I could attempt to reach out to him first. Yeah, if I'm not successful, then I'll definitely reach out to you. So maybe you could help me make that initial contact, but I'll try it, you know, before, because I know you're very, very busy. Anybody else that you think that I could benefit from interviewing?
Under the same role, assistant principal?
It could be anybody. They said we could interview, you know, counselors, anybody that you deal with that helps you run the campus. You know, as a principal, you don't only deal with, of course, like, you know, the assistant principal. You also deal with maybe the cafeteria, janitor, all of those people make up an important role in the camp to make the campus run. So I don't know who else you would recommend.
See, what I'm trying to make the connection with your, you know, what's going to help you in when it comes to taking your assessments and
Okay.
be familiar with some of those domains that you need to be familiar with. So, like for example, I said Mr. Mendoza, he has a wealth of knowledge with discipline. Miss Pena, our curriculum specialist, who falls within the curriculum. She's also strong with discipline. She's been a former principal as well. She was also coordinator for Reading First. So she has a wealth of knowledge, very broad background as far as experiences in running different programs. Um,
Oh, wow. I didn't know that about Miss Pena. That's nice to find out. So she
yes,
was the principal before also. Oh, wow.
she was the principal. Yes,
Oh, okay.
and she also has a secondary background. She was the dean of instruction over at Veterans Middle School.
Oh, okay. So she, no, she's very knowledgeable also. Then that's someone that I could definitely interview soon. Um, for the 160 hours, ma'am, I'm also able to participate, of course, in 504 and RTIs, LPAC, GT meetings. And I know I had sent you, I know you always let me participate. And last year I participated in some of those meetings, either through my grade level. But this year, of course, I wanted to be able to participate in even more meetings because, of course, one, it will benefit me. I will learn, things that are that I need to know and be more familiar with, but also I would be able to, log down more hours for participating in this type of activities.
So
So,
we have some meetings that are already scheduled for, we just had our LPAC this morning, but we have our RTI that's coming up. And we also have the PBIS that's coming up. So what I'm going to do, Miss Aguirre, is I'm going to share my calendar,
okay.
my Outlook calendar. And so you'll get an invite and you will be able to see my entire a month and meetings that I have. And so what I would like for you to do is look at my calendar and and let me know which are because there's so many meetings. There's art meetings that are happening. Like I said, the RTI, we have the PBIS, we have that's coming up. The LPAC is coming up as well. So there's meetings that are going on every day, and based on your schedule and your day, you let me know on this day and this day, and I can make arrangements to let the committee know that you will be sitting in prior to us starting the meeting. Now, as far as my principal meetings, they have been unscheduled and announced almost on a daily basis. We usually have our principal meetings a day after school board meets. And so that is happening next week. So I need to ask our assistant superintendent if it is okay for you to sit in. I'm more than sure that they'll say okay. And so hopefully you'll be able to join our principal meeting soon.
Okay, and I'm glad that you mentioned that PBIS because I know I heard from Mr. Visua about the benefits. I guess like a little insight of what PBIS stands for, and I was intrigued by it because I know it's something that's barely starting, and it's so I really do want to take part of that because I feel like I'll be able to learn a lot from this new program, but hopefully I'm able, you allow me also to be part of that one.
As a principal, you deal a lot with the discipline, and
Mhm.
so PBIS ties in very well as far as a framework to how to address many different cases when it comes to discipline. So we will definitely include you in that, and I'll give you some literature on
Okay.
PBIS.
All right, sounds good. And then I know that I'm doing walkthroughs right now with COVID-19. Of course, we're doing the long distance. So I'm not sure if you have any ideas or anything like how I'll be able to participate in any activities that that require like walkthroughs.
We can
I know.
we can do the virtual walkthroughs. What we can do is plan, look at your day
Mhm.
and let me know when you're ready to do a walkthrough. And that would require you to have some asynchronous planning. And
Okay.
it could be during the morning. I recommend during the morning. That's when we'll get to see visit different classrooms. So if you can plan at least 2 periods of asynchronous so that we can come back and debrief after the walkthrough.
Okay.
And
Yeah, that's
I'll give you the link to go in. I'll let teacher know as well that you will be sitting in the walkthrough. And we'll afterwards, like I said, we'll do some debriefing and talk about what we noticed and some recommendations that I would give as a principal to that teacher.
okay. Yes, sounds good. Also, like I said, well, the discipline we'll go ahead and target with that PBIS, the LPAC, DMAC trainings, academic. Today I'm still I still attended that DLPAC meeting from the district. So I've been, accumulating some hours through there. I know the CLPAC committee, I know that I didn't apply for it this year or miss. I know you had given the responsibilities to other teachers and kind of like try to get volunteers, but I wasn't asked. But I still want to be part of the CLPAC anyway. So that's another thing that I would like to join.
I'll give you also on our school calendar. It's not noted on there, and I don't know why we didn't add it, but I already have the dates, and I'll email you. As a matter of fact, I'll email you. The meeting dates are already set, and we have 2 parents that are part of our seal pack. We just need a business or community member. However, our first meeting is coming up. I want to say it's next week. So I will send you the flyer of our dates and members.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, let me go ahead and of course we're going to talk about the special projects that I had sent. Where you kind of like
Yes.
you noted them down for me, so we'll talk about them right now. Okay, so again, the TA required observation example. We're doing observation number 1. I submitted an agenda for this, and then we did, of course, the leading mentor and planning, where you helped me plan. And this is what we're working on right now. And then, of course, I have observation number 2, and then observation number 3 that we have to do the same thing. For this one, the observation number 1 is just me and you, and then for the others, this is where the other things come in place, which we're going to touch base on right now. Again, this is the one that we're in right now. For me and you, that the responsibilities and duties between me and you. Observation number 2 is going to be the professional development for teachers that are in need. For example, if they need help with lesson plans, or maybe they need like a training on Eduphoria, on Teams. Ms. Ortega and Ms. Guadalupe de la Garza, those are all teachers that I have been, reaching out to, because of course they're new teachers, and Ms. Hernandez lately, because sometimes they need help. So I have made myself available to them to kind of, any questions that might have in it. It's not only me, right? Of course, other teachers have been helping them out also. But I took that initiative because I wanted to, of course, make them feel more comfortable, and I wanted for them to know, like, hey, if they need assistance, there's someone here that could go ahead and help you. So, but the second observation that I would have to do will be on that professional development. So I wanted to ask, with that professional development, did you want for, I know you had, well, I'll show it to you right now because I know I had noted down somewhere else, but like that, so you could elaborate on a little bit more on what you had noted down. Again, observation number 3, this one, I'm thinking maybe sometime in November 6th, and this was going to be for the COVID safety training, and for when teachers return. And today in the DLPAC meeting and our staff meeting also, you mentioned that there may be they're going to be applying for 4 more weeks for us to be able to be doing distance learning for 4 more weeks. So, and Mr. Rana today confirmed that they applied for it already, or they're going to apply. We might not go back until December the 4th. And even then, depending on the numbers and the severity of COVID-19, around that time, then they're going to make a decision whether they're going to apply for it again, or what is their next step. So I really do want to start working on that project for the safety training that we would have to give the staff for, so that they could be ready for when we go back. And a lot of these things are things that you have mentioned today, actually, in our meeting. So the special projects, and you did note them down in my planning the practicum, and right now I'll go over them. But it could be trainings for new teachers. It could be to develop and revise course management plans. It could be committee work, attendance, curriculum, reading, new initiatives that you might have, improve parental involvement programs. And I feel right now with COVID-19 that we have to work a lot closer with parents. I feel like the parental involvement has been going up a little bit more in our campus, which makes me, I think that's great, because we've seen it a big jump compared to last year. So I'm glad about that. So anything else that we could do to help that, it's great. And of course, these are the people that you could go ahead and contact. You already have a copy of this PowerPoint, but this is Dr. Juan Garcia's email. If you want to let him know, reach out, anything, questions that you might have over the practicum. Mr. Guerra is the one that's in charge of the whole program, and Ruby Sense is the secretary from the program. So let me show you the other page. Hopefully it goes back. Are you able to see the one that says University of Texas Rio Grande Valley?
Not yet.
No? Okay. I don't know why it does that. Let me share the other screen. Okay, so this is from the university. This is a form that I was asking you to see if you could go ahead and sign at the end. I'll email it to you, and I already have the information down. You had already seen this form before, but I forgot to get a signature from you. We went over this, like I said, these are some of the activities that I wanted to participate on, like the CO Pack, the ARDs, 504s, discipline, which we're going to do with the, what is it called?
PBIS.
Yes, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Supervision of after-school activities. I know right now there's no after-school activities like dance, for the dance team or any type of sports like the soccer. But once we go back, even though I'm done with the, with the practicum, I still would like to make sure that I, am involved in any of the other these after-school activities with the kids, with the students. I want to, of course, participate in any professional development, talk about, budget, master schedule, which you already gave me an opportunity to participate in that. And the emergency operations plan, which it's like for the COVID-19. Part number 2, describe 1 or 2 projects your principal would like the practicum students to accomplish during the practicum. These are the special projects that you mentioned. One was introduced Donna ISD AE local policy. And you mentioned the mission and vision for Donna ISD and BG Guzman, or the role of the board on the Donna ISD AE locals. Do you mind elaborating a little bit more? Like, what is your thoughts on that? Like,
so the Donna ISD AE local policy certainly impacts classroom teachers. So there's two parts to it. We have our pre-K through 2nd grade teachers, where students need to show reading gains every year, a certain percent. So for this year, 75% of students need to be on reading level. And by next year, it needs to be at 80%. And so we were measuring the gains in reading levels through iStation. But now that we've switched over, we're waiting to see if, for our leaders, our district leaders, to go in and just change the program, changing it from iStation. Now it's learning. It's Imagine Learning?
Imagine Learning.
Imagine Learning. And so then 3rd through 5th is our STAR. So they use STAR as the assessment to show that year's gain that they want to see in every student. So there's two different, it's divided into these two groups. And so what I would like to do is take our vision and apply that vision to Donna ISD, and how are they comparable to each other, and what do we need to do as a campus to go back and also add to our vision and mission to be aligned with our AE local policy. And so because of the accountability that is placed on every teacher and the monitoring that goes into play, that every teacher has to be responsible for the tracking, it's important that we are familiar with this policy. And which is why I want to discuss it more with teachers more frequently than what we do, as opposed to waiting at the end of the 6 weeks, waiting for the new data to come in, where we could have maybe midpoints, some checks in between, before waiting to the end of the 6 weeks.
Yeah, because understanding the data period is, I think that's important, because that we're able to plan more accordingly, and then we're able to reach these goals. And with, like you said, with this new program this year that we have not started our kits on, I think it's very important that we start making those you know having those meetings and all those, like you said, those checkpoints, so we can make sure that we stay on track and make sure that we accomplish those goals. So yeah.
And being in this COVID situation, I firmly believe that we do have family students that are not connecting, and there's going to be some regression. However, we still have to keep pushing forward, implementing, following up with those that are connecting, so that learning gap does not widen more than what we expect to see. And so I don't want for COVID situation to kind of set us back. We have to keep trying to reach out to our students, and whether it's synchronous or asynchronous, still monitoring. It's been challenging, I know, for all of you to do this, the testing, the BOY testing, some that can, some cannot. So our data is going to be a bit incomplete. However, we could still track. I feel that we can still track some of our students.
And you're right. I agree with you, because even though we shouldn't use COVID-19, I guess, as an excuse, right, to make sure that, to give the kids that okay, that it's okay to relax. No, we still have to have high expectations and hold our students accountable and our teachers accountable, right? Because we're all in this together, and COVID-19 or not, we still have deadlines and things to meet. And yeah, I agree with you, and we shouldn't be saying, oh, it's because of COVID-19.
Right.
So, I agree.
We still have state accountability and our federal with our telpas. So
yeah, and we still have a responsibility with our students also, right, to make sure that we are doing our best so that they could learn the most they can, even if it is through distance learning.
correct.
So, for project 2, Ms. Lagasa, you have put introduce STAR and TELPA student accountability, and I'm guessing we're going to use data and student growth from last year to this year. I know, I really don't know. Is there going to be a STAR this year, or like?
As of now, there is a calendar for STAR testing. When I shared some time back that in March, when all this COVID started, we were, the disaster mode. Now that we've gone through the end of the year and during the summer to come back with as much safety protocol. Now we're under accountability mode.
Mhm.
So TEA does have a testing calendar out for STAR. And so that's why I say that we have to keep moving forward and, with our curriculum timeline, with our 6 weeks exam, doing our data meetings, studying our data, looking at our patterns, because there's accountability at the end of the year. We want to see that the gains, and so we can't just wait and think, well, maybe there won't be accountability. Maybe it's just going to be through a more of an informal type of data collection. Uh, as a campus, we will move forward as if it was as
Right.
we are testing at the end of the year.
Yes, and I feel like after this bundle testing and all of this VOY testing, it's going to be an eye opener. I know it was for me as a teacher when I was seeing some of the students' scores are kind of like, okay, I need to make sure that I take a step back and kind of reevaluate what I'm doing to making sure that those kids are making, like you said, those gains. So it's very important for us to make sure that we continue having that mindset that we still have accountability.
Yes.
So
Yes.
okay. This one, it says part 3, identify potential core activities for observations and approximation dates. Okay, well, this is number 1. We're already working on number 1 today, which is the discussion of the practicum. Number 2, like I said, a professional technology development. I want to do it. I have put October the 16th, but we could go ahead, if that doesn't work, we could go ahead and always change the date. But I wanted to see if I could identify a group of teachers that I need, review maybe teacher resources that are available to them, use Google Meets to virtually teach teachers how to use a tool, survey, reflections, model and effective virtual learning environment. This is something that you had added, the model and effective virtual learning environment. What did you have in mind with that, Ms. Lagarza?
We have some teachers based on walkthroughs that are unable to navigate through the Google Classroom and just be able to manipulate the features on through Google Classroom. For example, having sharing the screen and putting up a lesson or putting up a video, doing the interactive math manipulatives on the screen. We have teachers that will, hold a paper up and teach like this, and it's to me, you know. It's very hard for a student to be able to see what's being printed.
Mm-hmm.
And so creating an effective learning environment, just looking at you, I have the feeling that, it gives me the feeling of being in a classroom, uh, and having the screen and ready to uh, differentiate through virtual learning is something that some teachers are have still not developed or not proficient in, and providing some that guidance or help or ideas. I feel that it's a step forward in helping them.
Okay, and I could definitely work on something. And like I said, this is something that I could either pull in, a group of teachers that you could go ahead and assign me to, and I could go ahead and do the one-to-one and try to show them how to navigate the different programs that we have, or I could go ahead and do it as a whole campus as a whole. Um, that is something that is, that I could definitely start working towards too, because yeah, I myself had to rely also like on other teachers to kind of help me navigate here and there. But I'm of course now I want to make sure that I help other teachers that might need that assistance, because yeah, you're right. It's very important for us to be able to navigate from the video and being able to project what we're writing using the Elmo, because yeah, I tried writing on that paper for the first day or two while they set up my Elmo, and it was very difficult because you're right, the kids are not able to see what you're doing or what you're trying to point out. But with the use of technology and being able to move from screen to screen, and it makes everything more easier, and makes your class, flow even better, and the kids are able to understand more of what is it that you're teaching.
Be
So
engaged, be engaged. And it might be just overcoming that fear of just, it's okay to click on that. It's nothing's good. It might erase, and even with Google Classroom, everything's saved. It's an auto save. I feel that, taking that first step and guiding some of these teachers maybe is all we need to do to get them to feel comfortable in adding these different features to their lessons.
yes, and well, I could definitely make sure that like I said, assist you in doing something like that. You just let me know if you want for me to target just a specific group of teachers, or do it as a campus as a whole.
Okay.
For observation number 3, which will be the last recording that we do, like I said, that one I will think it'll be best like in November, closer to the December, just in case we do have to go back in December 4th, and that's where we could go ahead and I could give a safety training to the staff of what are the safety protocols that you have in place, or the district has in place upon our returning to campus. The checklist, how are we going to go by the cleaning, how are we going to do the fire safety and the lockdown. Those are all, I think, very important points that you have noted down, that I feel like every teacher, including myself, have those questions like, how are we going to do fire drills to comply, and how are we going to do lockdowns with COVID-19 lingering around our minds, and the cleanliness, how are we going to make sure that we keep it clean throughout the day. So those are, did you have anything like in place, or anything else in mind that I could go ahead and add? Or
Uh, I do want to recommend that you look into the Learn and Lead plan that was just approved by TEA. There's a section specifically for safety, the health safety protocols. And those are protocols that we are currently following on site. However, there's a lot more that I need to implement and prepare for in the event that we do come in. And right now, the on-site staff, I do tell them we need to practice this for the day that we do have more students coming in. For example, classrooms right now, they're all already set up with a 6 feet distance. Custodians have taken out all the extra furniture. We've got our posters up. We've tweaked some of our bus procedures because the first day we observed that some students were not being screened, and so we had to tweak our screening, and the pickup area where students were being picked up and dropped off. We were out there helping our parents how to screen through Dr. Owl. So we had to also introduce a paper form to expedite the line. And so the Lead and Learn plan has procedures and practices. However, when you implement it into classroom or campus, it plays out very differently, and that's understood. So that is where we had to change it up a bit. And right now, I know that it's running rather smoothly. However, teachers, the instructional aides are the ones that come back and provide feedback. This is working well, or this is not working well. And so that's a document that I do recommend you look into. And then the district is just now, they have developed a new emergency operations plan manual. We're having some audits, and I'll include you as well. We have some upcoming meetings that where we're going to discuss the emergency operation plans with some new drills that have been added. Disaster drills, tornado drills have been added to our district EOP. So that's forthcoming, and I will certainly share with you. Once we go through that training, we look at the lead and learn, then we'll bring it back to our campus. And we might tap into some local resources that they can also come in and talk to our staff about some of these safety practices.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. It's like a lot of behind the scenes, right, to get prepared to go back to the campus environment, the school environment. Um, Okay, so these right here is just like a list of areas that I would like to gain more experience on. And like I said, knowledge of principal evaluation system, the grievance process, employees failing to comply to administer guidelines and or expectations, student conduct meetings, the hiring process of teachers. And you have allowed me to, to be part of the hiring process, with interviews. But I guess, for all these, I would like to make sure that I try to get a little bit more insight on it. Especially of course the evaluation system. But those are all things that of course are just things that I would like to gain experience on. And I know I'm not going to be able to gain all of the experience, just from here to December. But like I said, even after my my practicum is over, I would still like to, of course, continue learning from you and, gaining more experiences. So I would truly appreciate any other, experiences that you could allow me to gain. I'm going to show you my log of hours, so you could more or less get an idea what is it that hours that I've been accumulating. I'm going to stop sharing this one because I have to open a new one, but hold on. Oh, okay, hold on. I don't know what happened with this thing. I'm a second. Okay. Sorry, we have to open the. Okay, I got it. Sorry, it's because I had to switch you to another screen to be able to open it. Okay, now I'm going to share my other screen with you. Okay, so this is my log, and like I said, I've been accumulating hours since February. These are the ones for September so far. So Mr. Garcia, or the part of the practicum is for us to go ahead and note down the days that we are getting hours for, and what is it that we're doing for, like, as far as the description, what is it that we're doing. So the first one in September that I have is hosted the Meet the Teacher. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Is like the hosted the Meet the Teacher for second grade through Zoom, and I have, that I put that I had to create a link that I shared with you to be posted on social media. Parents were able to connect to our Zoom meeting with the use of the link. During the meeting, important information was given to parents and students on what to expect during our new long distance learning school year. So this activity description, of course, I have to make sure that I tie it up to a principal standard or the competency. So, and then I submit this log to Dr. Juan Garcia, and Mr. Garcia is very, 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 he looks at every little detail, and he makes sure that, of course, the activity is tied up correctly to the competency. So he does have some suggestions for me to make, changes here and there, but for the most part, he's says that I've been doing okay on my log. I noted down, whenever I have to help you, like with the master schedule, that, what POC that I attended with you, Run Elementary, it was a short meeting, but, I still got to note it down. Anything that I have been working on, I make sure that I note it down. And this is a log that I'm going to be sharing with you, so that you could go ahead and just, monitor, see if you're curious to see what hours I've been working on. Anything that whenever I work towards anything for my practicum, I also get to note those those hours down. So, but if you have any questions over my log, or you want for me to clarify anything for you, you're welcome to ask me, and of course I'll go ahead and tell you what is it that when is it that I did it, or answer whatever question that you might have for me. But I'll share it with you. But for now, that was our interview. I want to thank you for allowing me this time. I know you're a very busy person, and you are took
Apologies
time.
for it is difficult. I having to manage the virtual part of it, and then having to manage the actual physical side. So no, my apologies to you for not always responding immediately, but I do try to, even if it's late in the afternoon. And you're my priority because I know that you have this class that you need to take care of. And so it's I do respond to you after school hours because it's important, that I get answer your questions, and certainly help in any way that I can.
Oh, yes, and I truly appreciate it. And like I said, I chose you for a reason, and you're very knowledgeable, and I really do admire the person that you are as as an educator, and as now as a leader. So I hope to learn a lot more from you. And like I said, thank you again for the opportunity, Ms. Lagarza. And we'll go ahead and schedule those next observations, and you're welcome to be a part of them if you would like. If not, I could go, like I said, just give me the list of teachers or anything that you would like for me to do, and I'll definitely start working with them towards showing them more professional development with navigating anything that they need.
All right, so I will also I'll share my calendar so that you can look at the different meetings that are taking place. It what works best for me is you tell me, here and here I can, join here, and I can join here. That helps me a lot when you tell me or send me the invite. When I get an invite, I'm quickly able to look at my calendar. Do I have something already scheduled there or not? And I can reply immediately. Also, so I'll send you those. I'll add you to my calendar, and I will look at the different goals that you have, the activities that we said that we were going to follow up with, and I'll give you more guidance and dates. We can start with some of these projects, like for example, the emergency operations plan. That takes a lot of planning and a lot of time to look, to review it, and meet with key people, because you have to have your response team. And so we probably need to start working on that, even though it's one of in the latter part of your course. I feel like we need to work on that right away. But I'll give you some dates. I'll give you some times and some literature as well on PBIS.
Okay, and I'll be emailing you the form that we needs to be signed, and like I said, just scan it and return to me by email if you like, or I could go pick it up at the campus. And then I'll continue to communicate with you on anything that might be coming up, so you could be aware and we could plan accordingly.
Perfect.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Ms. Lagarza.
Thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye.